Hi students, this is Miss Diana. In this video, we'll see about A Legend of the Northland by Phoebe Cary from class 9 English. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballad is such a kind of poem that tells a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas carry 4 lines. In total, there are 16 stanzas in this poem, and these stanzas will tell us a story. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. The story is of the Northland area, the area which is near the North Pole. The exact place is not specified here, but Northland means the area in the northernmost part of the earth. And legend. Legend means a historical story, one which is very old and has been passed on from generation to generation. Now we'll see about first stanza. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So, in the region around the North Pole, the duration of the day is very less because its position is such that the sun's rays reach for a very less time. When this area is experiencing winter season, the duration of the night is very long and the daytime hours are very less. In line 4, they refers to the people who live in this region. The poet says that the duration of the night time is so long and the people cannot sleep them through. If they go to bed, take a few hours of sleep and then they wake up, it is still night time. He wants to emphasize on the fact that the duration of the night is very long. Now we'll move to the second stanza. Where the harshness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bad skulls in their funny furry clothes. So here sledges means a vehicle on runners for conveying loads or passengers over snow or ice. Okay, and the harshness means to tie the reindeer, and swift means something which runs very fast. Okay, so here the Northland region experiences severe cold conditions and it is a snowy area. The reindeer is an animal which is found in this polar region. Okay, and then people tie the reindeers to sledges and then the reindeers pull the sledges. He adds that the children look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes made of fur, which is like the furry skin of a bear. Okay. Now we'll move to the third stanza. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true. And yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. So here curious means strange. Okay. In the line 1, they refers to the parents or elders and them refers to the children or the younger generation. Okay, the next generation. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the younger generation. Okay, and the poet says that he doesn't think that the story is true, but if he tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. Okay, so the story gives an important message. Now we'll see the story. What is the story and what is the message the story gives us? Okay. So now we'll move to the next stanza. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it, preaching, just as he did, you know. So here, Saint Peter means an apostle of Christ, or a disciple of Christ, or a follower of Christ. Okay, preaching means to give a religious talk, or to convey good news, or to talk about Jesus Christ. Okay, spreading news about Jesus Christ. Okay, so this story is about Saint Peter. Okay, and the story starts now. When Saint Peter used to live in the world, okay, and went around giving religious talk to the people, just like all saints do. Okay, then an incident happened to him. Okay, so we'll see what kind of incident and how he react. So now we'll move to the next stanza, that is fifth one. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. So here hearth means fireplace where you do cooking. Okay. So when Saint Peter was moving around the world giving religious talk to the people, he reached the door of a cottage. Okay, so cottage means a small place, small like a dwelling place, house. Okay, so where a small woman was making cakes, and she was baking the cakes in the fireplace. Now we'll move to the next stanza, that is 6. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. So here faint means to be weak. Okay, and fasting means without eating. And day was almost done means the day is going to end. It is like dark, or in the evening. Okay, getting dark. So as Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling weak, because without eating he was preaching. Okay, he was talking. So he went to this woman who was baking cakes, and he asked for one cake out of many cakes that she had baked. Okay, so she had lots of cakes in her store. Okay, so Saint Peter went and asked her only one piece of cake to eat, because he felt hungry and he was very weak. Okay, so he was fainting actually. So now we'll see the next stanza, what is happening, that is 7th stanza. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. So the woman was selfish. Okay, so she did not give cake from her store. Instead, she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter, and she did not want to share her things with anybody actually. But when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. Actually, the size of the cake was very small. So now we'll move to the next stanza. Therefore she needed another, and still a smaller one. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. So here kneaded means to make tough from flour. Okay, so the little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to be given away. Okay, so she started making another smaller cake. When she looked at that cake, she again felt that it was as big as the previous one. Okay, so again she was not ready to give this smaller cake to Saint Peter. So she started making another one smaller than this. Thank you students, and we'll see the rest of the stanzas in next video. Thank you for watching.